Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make a lovely vegetarian meal, which is cannelloni with our brown lentils. Also, be sure to watch. In the previous year, we made a lovely recipe which we stuffed our cannelloni with our spinach and ricotta cheese. For today, we are going to need we will be using 10 of these cannelloni tube. Here I have a cup of brown lentil that I picked, washed and soaked overnight. Half a cup of oil to braise and a medium size of onions that are diced. 4 cloves of garlic which I'm going to crush. I'm also going to use a can of tomato and onion mix, but you can use your normal can of tomato or fresh tomatoes. Thereafter, I have 1 carrot that I cubed. I'm going to put in half a cup of frozen peas, 1 teaspoon of mixed herbs, 1 teaspoon of paprika, a generous grind of black pepper, half a teaspoon of garlic salt. Thereafter, for the taste, I'm using 1 teaspoon of salt, but we'll taste along the way. We are going to get started by braising our lentils. I've got my stove on medium heat. I'm going to add in my half a cup of oil to my pot and allow this to heat up a little. My oil has heated up. I'm going to add in my onions. I will allow these onions to get slightly soft. My onions are nice and soft. Thereafter, I'm going to put in my crushed garlic. To my garlic, I'm going to give a generous grind of black pepper. Thereafter, I'm adding in my paprika and my mixed herbs and the garlic salt. I'm going to add in my lentil to the cooking. Give this a nice mix. I will allow this to fry for a few seconds. My lentils has came to a fry. To this, I'm going to also add in my salt and give it a nice mix and allow it to fry a little more. My lentils has been frying for about 3 minutes. I'm going to just add in my carrots. Give this a nice mix. And I'm also going to add in my peas. Mix this. I'll leave this to fry out for another 2 minutes. Another 2 minutes has passed. And this is a nice fry. And it smells so good. I am ready to add in my can of tomato onion mix. Give this a nice mix. I'll add in a little water to my can so I can rinse out the remainder of the tomatoes, and I'll add it into my curry. On low heat, I will allow my lentil to cook, but if needed, I will add in a little water to make my lentil come soft. While my lentils are cooking, I'm going to quickly prepare my white sauce. For my white sauce, I need 120 grams of butter, a generous grain of salt, a generous grain of pepper, 1.5 cup of milk, 2 teaspoons of flour. I have here about 200 grams of cheddar cheese, but thereafter I had a piece of blue cheese extra, which is optional for y'all. But if y'all have, y'all can put it in for a nice taste. My stove is on medium heat, and I'm going to throw in my butter to the pan. I will allow this butter to melt a little. To my melted butter, I'm going to add in my flour, and I'll keep stirring till my flour fries out. My flour is fried, so I'm going to give a generous grain of black pepper to it. And also a generous grain of salt. I don't want to add too much of salt because my butter was salted. And thereafter our cheese also has salt. So slowly I'm going to add in my milk while stirring. I will allow this to come to a boil. And as this will boil, it will get nice and thick. My sauce is getting ready, but before it gets too thick, I'm going to add in my cheese. A few years back, Pranesh has demonstrated making cheese sauce, but in the later state, I had to learn to make. Give this a quick mix. This is my cheese sauce, and I'm going to turn my heat off, and as it stands, it will get more thick. 10 minutes has passed and my lentils are done. I'm going to switch off my stove and allow this to cool, and as it cools, it will get thicker, and we had to have a little bit gravy to it, so we will allow our lentils to cool. My lentils has cooled down to the point that I can work with. Yeah, I have a small baking tray which I put some spray and cook onto it. Firstly, using a ladle, I'm going to put my lentils to the bottom of the baking tray. You don't need a very thick layer. You can spread the lentils around. So this is looking done. Thereafter, I will take my cannelloni and fill my lentil curry to it. Don't worry about any of the lentils spilling over. I'm going to place this downwards. I'll work with another. We will continue doing this in the same manner. We have done the filling with Pranesh's help. And here I have a lot of curry that remained there. So I can put it into a pie one day. Or I can also put it into my couscous and have a healthy salad. I am going to layer some of my cheese sauce on top. I will spread this evenly. I'll just spread this out. I'm just going to add a little bit of grated cheese on top. I'm going to cover my baking tray with a piece of foil and allow this to rest for 20 minutes on the counter. This will stay on my countertop for 20 minutes, and in the meantime I'm going to switch my oven on to 165 degrees and I will let it to preheat. 20 minutes has passed with my cannelloni resting on my counter. Now I'm going to pop this into the oven for 25 minutes, and I will also remove the foil for the further 10 minutes for my cheese to brown up. "35 minutes has passed, 25 minutes for the baking and another 10 minutes with the foil taken out. You can see it's still bubbling, so we'll allow this to rest for another 20 minutes before serving. I just finished off by sprinkling some lovely fresh spring onions on top, and as you can see, it looks so nice, very tempting. So here's your vegetarian lentil cannelloni served with some lovely salad on the side. By the time this video will load on Sunday, I will be gone to a hospital for a small procedure. So I will take a little time off to recover. That depends how Pranesh take care for me. We will be back very soon. Until then, please watch the older recipes that will interest you very much. I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you when I come back.